Hello there and welcome to this episode of Inside Southeastern Basketball with head coach Jay Ladner. I'm Alan Waddell. We want to thank you for joining us here on our program. Coach, show two. Your team just got off a really long bus ride as two road games on the road, first to Western Illinois and then come back down to Tennessee Tech. Your team got a lot of bus miles this past week.
I wish we could get frequent flyer miles for buses. I would have some nice vacation time built up, that's for sure. And time with arrival. We arrived this morning back. We got on the bus and headed back home so our guys could get back for class. That's important to us. And we arrived this morning about 7:30. So it's been a long day. We're taping the show now, and it's a little bit later in the afternoon. But certainly excited about the progress that we saw in those two games. Haven't experienced that victory yet, but certainly if they continue to progress like they have, I feel that that's going to come soon.
Well, Coach, that was going to be my next question. I know that the outcomes didn't turn out the way you wanted them to, but opening up with Oklahoma State and Oklahoma, now you play Western Illinois and Tennessee Tech, two very good basketball teams, but maybe gives you a little better measuring stick of where your club is.
No question, and I think both of those games where we had opportunities late in those games to possibly win those games. We still have to get better. Got to learn how to win. It's just that simple. We've got to learn how to win basketball games. Both times we were in a position to make a late run, and in one of the games we actually led there in the last minute, and then the second game with 8 minutes to play, it's anybody's ball game, and credit Tennessee Tech obviously on the way they finished the ball game. But anyway, very proud of our progress from games 1 and 2 to games 3 and 4.
All right, well, let's go out and check out the highlights as the Lions were on the road at Western Illinois. Coach, here you are in Macomb, Illinois, to take on Western Illinois. The Leathernecks on the road. As you got some good news before this game, the day before, Daniel Greaves became eligible, and this was his first game suiting up here for your Lions.
It was. That was a huge thing for us. We had been really an extended period of time where we felt like we were already going to get a decision. NCAA, has their own clock, and we got that the day before we went to Macomb to play Western Illinois. And anyway, it's great news for us in the long term. It's going to take some time to develop that chemistry that a basketball team has, but at least gives us a start. We were able to move forward now.
Coach, this was actually a really tough trip for your club. Had to do a lot of driving in the bus, stayed in that bus for a long time. Just an opportunity for your kids to get away and kind of do some, off-the-court bonding, and played really well in this game. And it's a game that came right down to the wire.
I was very pleased, really, with both games of this road trip about the improvement made from the first couple of games. Obviously, we weren't playing two top 20 teams, but two very good teams and on their home floor. We haven't had an opportunity to play at home yet, and I think the home court advantage had a lot to do with the outcome of both of these games, the fact that they were comfortable there. But I was really pleased with the way our players competed, and they got ready to play and showed some progress.
Coach, talk about this game a little bit. Again, it looks like offensively attacking the basket, had some shots from the perimeter, but again, just really an attacking style of basketball at your club.
Certainly that's what we want to do. We want to have an attack mentality, a pressure mentality on both ends, and we certainly, I thought we did, just like I said, much better job in the Oklahoma State games of showing progress. Played better, played more, and then from the third to the fourth game when we went to Tennessee Tech, same thing. Just played much better. As you can see there, it's Drew Guillory going in there and finishing with contact. Looked like May should have got a call there, but that's life on the road.
Certainly is, and this is a game that would come all the way down to the wire. You had a lead in the second half with about 12 minutes to go. It was really nip and tuck and literally came down to the final shot.
Well, it was a tough way to lose. We had a couple of tough breaks go against us right there in the end. Certainly nobody's fault but ours. Had an opportunity to win the game and just didn't get it done. But I was really pleased with the direction the team is heading.
Coach, what can you learn from a game like this? You go on the road, you're in a hostile environment. Sometimes maybe the calls aren't going your way. I got to figure out a way to win these games later on when they count a little bit more.
That's exactly right. And what those games do for you, I think if we handle those right in a mature fashion, we're frankly kind of an immature team right now as far as the life of a basketball team. But we feel like that in the long run and keeping things in perspective, when we get to league play, these type of games will help us. Certainly disappointed that we lost, but it put us in some very tough situations.
Coach, what's the key? I know you've had a lot of success in your coaching career to finishing these type of games. What's our team missing right now in this game to fit us?
There's you have to learn how to win. You know, winning is a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing, and our players need to learn how to win. And that's where we are. They're a little doubtful. You know, we got in a position. They put themselves in a position through good, solid play to be in a position to win that game. We've got a good team's going to find a way to win those games.
That was a nice 3-ball there by Zay Jackson. Offensive rebound, second chance points for those guys.
Rebounding is a huge key for us, and we let him get loose. Big number 34 for Western Illinois had a nice game for them. You've seen Zay Jackson attack the basket. He's one of the premier players in our league. And Devontae Upson, who I think has been our most consistent player through 4 games, he and Drew Guillory. Devontae with a nice follow there. We're posting Zay here. He's a good enough player to go play with his back to the basket. Felt like we had a size advantage there. Zay making a nice move in a basket there.
We talked about Daniel Greaves getting eligible and playing in this basketball game. Got in foul trouble early in this ball game.
Well, he's a little bit too amped up for the game, so to speak, and got a couple of quick fouls against him and put him out. One thing I'd like to point out about the Western Illinois game, it felt good. We had a little cadre of fans up there in Macomb, Illinois, pulling for the Lions, and virtually every time we stopped up there in restaurants and thing on our road trip, you would have people come up to us and say, hey, I'm from Hammond, or I went to Southeastern, or my dad went to Southeastern. That's good to know. A lot of pride in our program in the school.
Coach, now I know you've had a chance to go back and watch the game tape. We're seeing the highlights right here. What do you take out of this game?
Well, we certainly, Western Illinois, again, I think you alluded to it earlier, good tight ball game, gave us an opportunity to teach us some lessons in the area with tight games, how to finish games. I think that would be certainly one of the main things. We needed to get a couple of stops. We really needed one more stop right there at the end, and we just couldn't had an opportunity to get a loose ball.
And there's the shot right there, the three-point basket.
There's the shot that beat us. Certainly felt like the young man traveled on the way to pass, but it didn't happen. Some of our guys felt the same way and kind of froze. Got to play through the whistle, can't expect a call.
Did have an opportunity here at the end to try to get a last second shot at the basket. That's a little desperation shot. Didn't go for your club. You fall on the road, a tough loss for your club, but certainly a learning point for your team and something you can build on.
No question. Again, what I was most pleased is the progress made between Game 2 at Oklahoma and Game 3 here, and I thought we continued the progress into our next game at Tennessee Tech.
Coach, obviously not the result you wanted. It was a close game right there at the end. They make the big shot with about 4 seconds left, and we couldn't answer. But the team played very well on the road, just came up a little short.
Well, I thought we played up to that point had played our best basketball of the year, and we were in a position to win the basketball game. Some very good things. We are still continuing to mesh as a team. Our players are all new to each other. They're new to the coaching staff, and it's going to just take time. And you had mentioned earlier in the show about Daniel Greaves being ruled eligible. Jimmy Duplessis had just come off, been released medically off of a broken foot. Those guys were getting their first actions. It's going to take us a little time. It takes basketball teams a little time to mature and develop that necessary chemistry they have to have.
All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, we'll check out as the Lions made the long trip south to take on Tennessee Tech after playing Western Illinois. Right here on Inside Southeastern Basketball with head coach Jay Ladner.
Inside Southeastern Basketball with Jay Ladner is made possible by Angelo's Lawnscape of Louisiana. For over 30 years, Angelo's Lawnscape of Louisiana has been a premier landscape architect design company. Angelo's specializes in both commercial and residential work. Angelo's offers their clients a buildable and realistic solution with a focus on design, construction, and proper maintenance techniques. Owner Angelo DiStefano, Southeastern class of 1972, invites you to visit Angelo's Lawnscape of Louisiana at 13750 Jefferson Highway in Baton Rouge, or visit their website at angeloslawnscape.com. Angelo's Lawnscape of Louisiana, a proud supporter of Southeastern and Southeastern basketball.
Hey Lion fans, I'm Southeastern head basketball coach Jay Ladner. Join us as we usher in a new era of Lion basketball. For more information on season tickets, visit lionsports.net or call 549-LION. Always remember, line up.
Welcome back to Inside Southeastern Basketball with head coach Jay Ladner. The Lions then took their show on the road against Tennessee Tech on Monday night. Here's the highlights. All right, Coach, here's a map showing how far you guys had to travel. I know the life on the road in college basketball, 533 miles on your off day. I know your kids are going to be tired of being on that bus.
Well, I know I am, so I'm certain that they've got to be long ride on our off day to get down to Cookeville. But our guys, you wouldn't have known it. They played. They were ready to play. Played with a lot of energy. I really felt like we played our best basketball of the year. Now, it was disappointing that the final score ended up where it was. I don't feel like that was indicative of the closeness of the basketball game.
And Coach, just talking off air with you a moment ago, Tennessee Tech, maybe the best front line you'll see all year.
Big, physical, strong, mature. We, frankly, at this point in our program, don't have that type of physicality among our players to be able to match up. We tell our guys we've got to make up for it with grit and determination and just a little more hustle. But we're maybe one of the smaller teams in Division I. However, we can't use that as an excuse, because if it goes down to just who's the biggest, we're not going to fare too well. So we've got to make up for it in other ways.
Well, your team would actually start this ball game very well. Had a lead in this ball game, jumped out on top on the road.
You see Drew Guillory making a great drive to the basket. He one of the strengths of his game is attacking and doing a good job. Yeah, we again came out ready to play. I thought defensively and offensively played extremely well. Played our best basketball of the season. And as you'll see, that game progressed in the second half. Could have gone either way.
Nice mid-range jump shot that time.
This is Jimmy Duplessis. Jimmy's coming off a broken foot. Nice back cut by Josh Fillmore. Got a nice block by the big 6'10", 6'11" young man from Tennessee Tech. We were able to retrieve the ball, steal the outlet pass, and come back down and set our offense. And you'll see big Devontae Upson going over setting a ball screen and into our half court.
Coach, it's nice to say, even though Devontae didn't get the bucket there, not afraid to take it in there and challenge the big guy.
Devontae has played extremely well. He's been our most consistent player. He's either been in double-double or has a double-double each night that we've played so far. He has been a very pleasant surprise, has really bought into the new style of playing, and is beginning to flourish.
That was a very nice finish that time by your club. And another
it's big Devontae right there stuffing one home for the Lions.
Coach, this was a game that, with about 8 minutes to go, it's a 4-point game, and then all of a sudden they got hot from beyond the arc.
It's a 4-point game, and we actually stole a ball there that uncontested layup, and Zay Jackson happens to lose the basketball on his way down the floor, and they convert to a three. We steal again. They convert another three. That we don't convert. They convert another three. They hit 3 consecutive three-pointers to kind of bust the game open there late in the second half. But I really felt like our guys played well. I was pleased with their progress. Not pleased with how we played, but pleased with their intent to go to battle.
Is Ochi taking it right at the big guy?
Ochi has a great move, best move he's made all year right there. Hopefully he can build on that. He certainly. I don't believe that O realizes how good a player he can be. Watching us again run some half-court offense here, a little cross screen. Daniel Grief setting a nice screen, nice entry pass by Zay Jackson. Again, nice stuff by Devontae. Nice play. Zay Jackson's as good a player as anybody in our league. Really pleased to have him. Tough player, experienced player. Glad we've got him for 2 years. Working on half-court defense, you can see all of our players are active. Getting after the basketball pretty good. We gave up a little too much penetration, obviously, on that. Gave up a nice layup to Tennessee Tech. There's Zay attacking the hole again. Got another layup. Did a good job. They had a hard time handling him. Disappointing the final score got to where it is, but we were able to get all of our players in as well. Knowing that we had an odd scheduling quirk. And
Coach, Game 4 in the season already under your belt. I would say right now, after these 2 games this week, we took a look at the highlights, is got to figure out a way to finish these games a little better.
Absolutely. We have to learn how to win, and that's an important thing as a team matures, and I feel like that we will. And every team's progress, when maybe they haven't been as successful as people would like, and they begin to be successful, somebody's got to step up out there and take the bull by the horns. And that's what we needed to do in both of those games. Although, again, proud of our progress. I'd like to see us, when it gets down to that point of the game, that the game can go either way. Somebody's got to step forward and take it. That's what I'd like to see us do.
Well, obviously, from watching those highlights, the Lions are very close right here in 2014 to putting it all together. Let's go ahead and take a break. We come back, we'll have more right here on Inside Southeastern Basketball with head coach Jay Ladner.
Inside Southeastern Basketball with Jay Ladner is made possible by Angelo's Lawnscape of Louisiana. For over 30 years, Angelo's Lawnscape of Louisiana has been a premier landscape architect design company. Angelo specializes in both commercial and residential work. Angelo's offers their clients a buildable and realistic solution with a focus on design, construction, and proper maintenance techniques. Owner Angelo DiStefano, Southeastern class of 1972, invites you to visit Angelo's Lawnscape of Louisiana at 13750 Jefferson Highway in Baton Rouge, or visit their website at angeloslawnscape.com. Angelo's Lawnscape of Louisiana, a proud supporter of Southeastern and Southeastern basketball.
Hey Lion fans, I'm Southeastern head basketball coach Jay Ladner. Join us as we usher in a new era of Lion basketball. For more information on season tickets, visit lionsports.net or call 549-LION. Always remember, line up.
Craig Huss, class of 1974 and 1976, and a retired senior executive who worked for 37 years with Archer Daniels Midland, one of the nation's largest agricultural firms, was honored as the 2014 Alumnus of the Year by the Southeastern Louisiana University Alumni Association. Huss was an excellent student, earning 2 degrees from Southeastern, but sometimes schoolwork wasn't his top priority.
I was a legitimate student, majoring in basketball first and study second, but I got a very good education at Southeastern, and I got a great MBA education at Southeastern.
Huss's first love was basketball, and from the look here, you can see Craig Huss was very good at basketball. Huss played for then head coach E.W. Foy and assistant coach Ken Fortenberry, and Huss soaked up as much basketball as he could so he could get playing time.
When you're vertically challenged, as I was, you learn, and I learned very quickly. I was limited athletically. I was a decent athlete, but I wasn't a great athlete, and I didn't jump well. So I came in as a center and became a power forward and became a small forward. And you learn very quickly. Coach Foy and Coach Fortenberry are great people, but their job is to win basketball games. So every year they're going out trying to recruit somebody better than you. So you just learn how to, how to set a pick and how to run 3 positions and do this. Because I came down for the scholarship, but I came down to play and win. And it's a lot of life lessons.
After his playing days were over, Huss tried his hand at coaching, and he did so right here in Hammond as a graduate assistant at Southeastern. And during that season, Huss discovered more than just basketball.
We got fairly serious that year, and I took her on. I was recruiting or scouting a great deal on weekends. So I had a fairly busy. So I took her on. Went on some scouting trips and did that to watch other teams. And I'll never forget. She wasn't a big basketball junkie at that point, but we sat down to watch a game, and she wanted to talk, and my job was to write everything, every tendency of every player, and I realized about 2 minutes in this wasn't going to make it because she was talking about how good the cheerleaders were and the pep band. And so I gave her a shot chart, a diagram, and said, now when this person shoots, you write their number down. If they make it, you circle it. And she got into it, and now after raising 3 sons, she's as big a basketball junkie or bigger than I am. So it fits.
Craig and Melinda Huss were later married and raised 3 kids. Craig retired in 2011, and the couple lives near Decatur, Illinois. Huss was honored at the annual Alumni Awards banquet this past weekend and was the Grand Marshal of the 2014 Homecoming Parade.
Obviously a very special piece there on Craig Huss, Alumnus of the Year, and also a former Lion basketball player. And as you can see, this is not Coach Jay Ladner now with me on set, as it's Devontae Upson, as not often do I interview somebody that is a lot taller than me, but I am now. And Devontae, thanks for spending some time with us. Coach Ladner has had a lot of good things to say about you. Talk about the early season so far for your club.
You know, it hasn't gone as planned, but, you know, I think we're making a little bit of progress, getting a little bit of team bonding, chemistry, and we're learning from the mistakes we've made. So I think we're going to be a pretty outstanding team when it comes in the future. Visiting
with Devontae Upson, and I want to ask you, I know it's a different style of basketball now that Coach Jay Ladner is here. Talk about the different styles they brought in, the different coaches, and what's different here at Southeastern basketball.
You know, he's really put a little bit of freedom in us to show our little abilities and skills, and I like the fast pace that he's brought to this team. I feel like we can actually expand and really be very productive in this system. I believe it's a lot different than last year, you know, with the up and down pace, and I feel like we can really put up some points if we believe in ourselves.
I know you got some new guys to the roster as well, some new faces, and in basketball, people just think, oh, you can just roll it out there and play. It's not like that. Developing chemistry. How do you feel the progress is going so far?
You know, I feel like we are learning. We made a lot of mistakes, so you know we learned from that, and I believe that we can really get it together. Though I feel like we gotta work in practice, work hard. You know, extremely hard, especially it comes from the defense end. So I believe we can get it together.
I know that anytime you're a competitor, you want to go out there and you want to win every time you go on the floor. But obviously, this is a team that's got to improve, that's got to get ready for conference play, and then get ready for that conference tournament at the end of the year, because that's what it's all about. You know, winning the conference and then making a run at that conference championship in the tournament and getting an NCAA bid.
Yes, sir.
So I know you're excited about that. I do want to ask you, though, about some of these new guys. Kind of introduce us to some of those guys that weren't here last year and that's playing with you this year.
Zay, yeah, he's a very funny guy. He's pretty good on the court. Very high IQ. You know, he has experience from Murray State. You know,
that's because he went to my high school, St. Thomas Aquinas.
Oh,
okay.
Yep, and then we got Daniel. Brings a lot of hustle. I like his energy. He brings it every day. He works hard. And he tries to do the best he can. It doesn't matter any flaws he has, he's going to go out there and work hard for you. And Cedric, he brings a little bit of maturity. He got that 3 ball, so we need that. A little bit of defense coming from Southern Miss, so he knows how to play on the big stage.
Well, I know that also Coach Ladner has talked about that, you know, we're not the biggest team in the country, and I know you're in there banging with some of those big guys on a night-in, night-out basis. What kind of mentality do you have to do that every night?
You got to be a beast. Like Coach said, you got to be an alley cat or you're going to lay down. And I definitely don't want to lay down and be a Persian cat. So I want to work hard every day. And he really brings that excitement for me. And I really want to try to perform to my best capabilities for him.
Well, I want you to check your schedule at lionsports.net. Come out and watch Devontae and the rest of his club. You can see how hard these guys are working, and they're this close to turning this thing around here in basketball here in the 2014-2015 season. So good luck this weekend. We're going to bring Coach Ladner back on set right here after the break on Inside Southeastern Basketball with head coach Jay Ladner.
Inside Southeastern Basketball with Jay Ladner is made possible by Angelo's Lawnscape of Louisiana. For over 30 years, Angelo's Lawnscape of Louisiana has been a premier landscape architect design company. Angelo specializes in both commercial and residential work. Angelo's offers their clients a buildable and realistic solution with a focus on design, construction, and proper maintenance techniques. Owner Angelo DiStefano, Southeastern class of 1972, invites you to visit Angelo's Lawnscape of Louisiana at 13750 Jefferson Highway in Baton Rouge, or visit their website at angeloslawnscape.com. Angelo's Lawnscape of Louisiana, a proud supporter of Southeastern and Southeastern basketball.
Hi, I'm Yolanda Moore, head women's basketball coach here at Southeastern Louisiana University, and I want you to join us as we usher in a new era of Lady Lion basketball. For more information on season tickets, log on to www.lionsports.net, or you can call 549-LION. Lion up.
Welcome back to Inside Southeastern Basketball with head coach Jay Ladner. As Coach Jay Ladner now joins us back on the set. And, Coach, we had a chance to look earlier in the program at Alumnus of the Year, Mr. Huss, who was a former Lion basketball player, and I know a guy that you got a chance to spend some time with.
Well, we were very fortunate. Craig Huss is a former player here, and what's important to us is that we develop our players more as just players. They're students, and we want our players to be outstanding young men as well. Craig Huss exemplifies those ideals of what we're trying to impart in our players. So we asked Mr. Huss to come over and share some words. He was more than happy, visited with our team on a Saturday morning practice. We were thrilled to death, and again, great role model for what we're trying to accomplish with our young men.
I also want to ask you for just a moment about Devontae, who just visited with us here on our program. You've already been very complimentary of him throughout the program, but I know just from talking to you off air that if this program's going to go where it needs to go here this year, that this is one of the guys that's got to take you there.
Well, we're certainly one of the smaller teams in Division I. However, Devontae is some of the little bit of size that we do have. He's a 6'9", 6'9" young man. What I like about Devontae is the progress that he's made since last May. He has really come a long way. My regret is that we don't have him for the future. But he's making his mark, and he's really become, in my opinion, by the time we get to league play, will be one of the top big men in our league.
No doubt about it. Of course, let's talk about your games this weekend. As a short drive for you, as you're going to go down and play Tulane on Friday night, and then on Sunday take on Langston.
Well, part of the Green Wave Classic the tournament that we're involved with. One thing I've gotten to know over here, there's a little bit of a rivalry between Tulane and Southeastern. We have a lot of Southeastern alumni there in the New Orleans area. It's going to give them an opportunity to watch us play. So we encourage everyone to come out. It's a Friday night after Thanksgiving. Great place to watch a ball game for anybody that's ever been to Devlin Fieldhouse. It's not a huge arena like we have here, but a great place to watch a basketball game. We're excited to play a quality opponent like Tulane. Come back on Sunday, we play Langston University as, again, part of that classic. It's an early start. For some people may want to get up and go to church and come right on over to the ball game. It's an 11 o'clock start, again, at Devlin Fieldhouse against Langston University.
Well, Coach, good luck this weekend, and thanks for being with us this week and filling us all in about Lion basketball.
Alan, thank you. Look forward to next week, and hopefully we can have a little better news.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for joining us right here on Inside Southeastern Basketball with head coach Jay Ladner. See you next week.
Hey.